Hi, this is Dan from DIY Domination. Are you interested in learning how to implement agroforestry practices? Agroforestry, a sophisticated blend of agriculture and forestry, is a game changer in the realm of sustainable farming. By integrating trees and shrubs into agricultural landscapes, agroforestry enhances productivity and sustainability, making the earth a happier place. But how does one go about implementing these practices? Well, it's a journey that unfolds step by step, starting with a thorough site assessment and planning, where you get to know your land intimately. You'll explore your soil type, quality, and drainage, and identify your local climate patterns. This sets the stage for defining your unique objectives and designing the layout. Next, you'll dive into the exciting world of selecting tree and crop species, then move on to planting, maintenance, and monitoring. You'll learn about harvesting, record-keeping, evaluation, and the continuous improvement process. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how to implement agroforestry practices on your own land. By the way, if you like this video and want to see more videos with advice on sustainable living, make sure to click the subscribe button and leave a comment down below saying "I subscribed," and we'll do our best to reply to your comment. The first step to implementing agroforestry is site assessment and planning. Understanding your land is crucial. You'll need to assess the soil type, its quality, and drainage. The climate plays a huge role too, so make sure to identify local temperature, rainfall, and sunlight patterns. Next, it's time to define your objectives. What are your goals for integrating agroforestry? Perhaps it's soil conservation, biodiversity, timber production, or maybe fruit production. Whatever your aim, defining it clearly will guide your next steps. Now let's talk about designing the layout. This involves planning the arrangement of trees, crops, and other components. It's important to consider factors like wind direction, water availability, and the compatibility of plant species. After all, a well-planned site is the foundation of a successful agroforestry system. With the right assessment and careful planning, you're setting the stage for a productive, sustainable agroforestry system. The next step is to select suitable tree and crop species. This is a critical aspect of implementing agroforestry practices. The choice of tree species should align with your goals and the local climate. For instance, if soil improvement is a priority, consider fast-growing nitrogen-fixing species. They're known to enhance soil fertility naturally. Now let's talk about crops. You want to choose crops that can thrive under the tree canopy. The interaction between your trees and crops should be mutually beneficial. Some crops and trees share a remarkable relationship where they benefit each other's growth and health. Remember, the tree and crop species you select should not just survive but thrive in your local conditions. So, do your research, consult with local agriculture or forestry experts if needed, and make informed decisions. Choosing the right species is crucial to the success of your agroforestry system. Now that you have your species selected, it's time to start planting. First things first, prepare the land. Clear it of any debris and weeds that could potentially hinder growth. If your site is prone to erosion, consider contour planting, a method of planting across a slope following its elevation contour lines. This can help retain water and reduce soil loss. Next, it's time to plant your selected trees and crops. The key here is to follow the recommended spacing guidelines for both. Planting too close can lead to competition for resources, while planting too far apart may lead to wasted space. When it comes to timing, plant during the appropriate season to give your trees and crops the best start. And remember, after planting, ensure they get adequate water. This is particularly crucial in the early stages of growth when plants are establishing their root systems. Proper planting ensures the healthy growth of your trees and crops. Once planting is complete, it's time to focus on maintenance. Now, maintenance is a three-pronged approach that zeroes in on watering, weed control, and pest and disease management. First off, let's talk about watering. The initial growth stages of your trees and crops are crucial. Thus, establishing a watering schedule is a must. Depending on the size of your agroforestry system and the local climate, you might need to consider the use of irrigation systems. Remember that water is life, and it's no different for our plants. Next up, we have weed control. Weeds can compete with your trees and crops for nutrients, water, and sunlight, so it's important to keep them in check. Implement weed management strategies that won't harm your trees or crops. One smart way to suppress weeds is by considering cover crops. These are plants that cover the soil surface, helping to block weeds from sprouting up. Lastly, let's discuss pest and disease management. Pests and diseases can pose a significant threat to your agroforestry system, but don't worry, there are ways to manage them. Monitoring for pests and diseases regularly is key. If you spot any, consider using integrated pest management techniques. These techniques can include the use of natural predators, such as certain insects, birds, and bats. The idea here is to work with nature, rather than against it. It's worth noting that maintenance isn't a one-time thing, it's an ongoing process. Your agroforestry system is a living, breathing ecosystem that needs your care and attention. The better you maintain it, the more it will thrive, and the more benefits you'll reap. Remember, every tree, every crop, every element in your agroforestry system plays a vital role. By making sure they're well taken care of, you're not just nurturing your plantation, but you're also contributing to a healthier and more sustainable environment. In conclusion, regular maintenance is key to the success of your agroforestry system. So, let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. After all, a well-maintained agroforestry system is a productive one. Monitoring and adaptation are vital parts of agroforestry. Just like a good gardener, you need to keep a keen eye on the growth and health of your trees and crops. This doesn't mean just checking for pests or diseases, but also keeping track of soil quality and nutrient levels, ensuring they remain optimal for your plants. It's also important to remember that Mother Nature has her own rhythm, and she doesn't always dance to our tune. Weather patterns change, pests migrate, and soil conditions evolve. Therefore, being prepared to adapt your agroforestry system is crucial. This might involve adding or adjusting tree and crop species, or modifying your watering schedule. The key is to observe, learn, and respond to the changing conditions. However, it's essential not to view these adaptations as setbacks, but rather as opportunities for growth and learning. Being adaptable and observant can help you navigate challenges and ensure the success of your agroforestry system. When your trees and crops are mature, it's time for harvesting. This is a critical stage in your agroforestry journey, and planning is key. First, you'll need to determine the ideal harvest timing for both trees and crops. This will vary depending on the species and local climate conditions. For trees, consider the maturity and health of the tree, the market demand, and the weather. For crops, you'll want to harvest at peak ripeness to ensure the highest quality. Now let's talk about sustainable harvesting practices. These are essential to maintaining the health and productivity of your agroforestry system. When harvesting trees, consider selective cutting, which involves removing only mature trees and allowing younger ones to grow. This maintains the forest canopy and minimizes soil erosion. For crops, practice crop rotation to preserve soil nutrients and prevent pest infestations. Remember, moderation is key. Overharvesting can deplete resources and lead to decreased yields in the future. Sustainable harvesting practices ensure the continued productivity of your agroforestry system. Keeping detailed records and evaluating your success helps improve your agroforestry system. That's our focus for this segment. Now, you may wonder why jotting down something as simple as a planting date can make a difference. But trust me, it does. Documenting key details like planting dates, tree and crop varieties, and maintenance activities can offer a wealth of insights. It helps you track progress, identify patterns, and make smart, informed decisions. For example, if you notice a certain tree variety thriving more than others, you can adjust your planting strategy accordingly. Or perhaps your records show an unexpected dip in crop yield. This could signal a need for improved pest management or soil enrichment. And don't forget to evaluate your system's success periodically. Are you meeting your goals for soil conservation, timber production, biodiversity? If not, what tweaks can you make? Regular evaluation and record keeping are crucial to the improvement and success of your agroforestry system. The final step in implementing agroforestry practices is continuous improvement. This is where you take on the role of a lifelong learner, always eager to discover and apply the latest best practices in agroforestry. It's about staying informed, staying curious, and staying open to new ideas. But it's also about looking inward, at your own experiences, your own successes and challenges. Every tree you plant, every crop you harvest, every season that passes, these are all opportunities to learn, to adapt, and to grow. It's through this process of reflection and refinement that you can truly optimize your agroforestry system. Consider what's working well, and what could be improved. Are there new tree or crop species that could be introduced? Are there adjustments to be made in your maintenance or harvesting practices? By continuously improving your agroforestry system, you can ensure its sustainability and productivity for years to come. If you like this video, then make sure to also watch these videos for more DIY sustainable living tips.